So what we need to do is actually to innovate more good products to fulfill the demand and to capture this market.
When we talk about vegetarian food, do you still think about the traditional Chinese style baked pie tofu and other vegetables with seaweed sauce? Have you ever tried new burger, which is veggie? Nowadays, we have various styles of vegetarian recipes. And vegetarian lifestyle is getting popular in Hong Kong. So let's come to explore about it today. Today we are honored to have Alvin, who is currently ESG and Communication Manager of Green Monday Group. He'll be our guest speaker today to give us sharing about the vegetarian lifestyle and about his company. Hello Alvin, nice to meet you.
Hi, it's my pleasure to meet you, Paul, and all the people from JCI. Thank you very much for the invitation indeed.
Yeah, thank you. To begin with, let's talk about our physical health. Could you help explain more about how is the vegetarian lifestyle benefits to our physical health?
I think this is a great question. Actually, this is the most common questions that people would come in mind when we talk about vegetarianism or when we talk about shifting to a more plant-based diet. Well, actually, countless research has showed that food and health are closely linked together. Many diseases occur simply because we didn't eat right. There are some obvious examples, say high cholesterol, too much sugar, salt, additives. Those materials will easily impair our health and our circulation system. So, say red meat. Actually, red meat and highly processed meat are classified by WHO as two different types of carcinogenic materials. Red meat is classified by WHO as type 2A carcinogenic materials, which meaning it will properly link to cancer. And processed meat, such as bacon and sausages, classified by WHO as group 1 carcinogen, meaning they are actually indeed carcinogenic. So to give you more exact data, consuming every 50 grams of processed meat will actually increase the chance of developing colorectal cancer by 18%. So to put it very simple, reducing meat consumption would indeed beneficial to our health. On the other hand, many people are simply not aware that a high proportion of Asians are actually lactose intolerant. That means they can't digest milk enzymes effectively. So if they drink milk that comes with, they drink coffee that comes with regular milk, they will likely need to visit bathroom shortly. So I'm actually one of them. When more people are aware that food like meat, red meat, processed meat, and milk would have a negative impact on our health, they would actually look for alternatives. Say, for example, coffee, they would look for alternatives like almond milk and oat milk instead of regular milk. Also, in the past couple of years, there are huge change in attitude when many ethnics openly admit that plant-based diets could improve their performance. There are top stars like Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton and NBA champion Kyrie Irving, who actually turned plant-based. They turned vegan. There's a documentary on Netflix called The Game Changers. So the documentary interviewed a lot of the top athletes, and almost all of them mentioned turning to a plant-based diet could improve their recovery period after the race. Well, I think the good side of shifting to a plant-based diet would actually come in a long list. But ultimately, it's all about having a balanced diet. Also, we need to cook in a healthy way as well. Say, simply eating a bowl of white rice is of course plant-based, but it's definitely not healthy, right? So a balanced diet and a good, well-informed mindset of eating, I would say they are the key.
Yes, I agree. Everything should come with a balance. And to talk about our global environment, I learned that vegetarian lifestyle could do a positive impact to our Earth. Could you explain more about it?
Yes, well, this is another great question. Now we know how bad climate change could affect our lives. And indeed, we have witnessed a number of strange weathers and severe storms in the past couple of years. We all know that if we don't take actions to tackle climate change, try to decrease the extent that weather is increasing, we will only be bumping into more abnormal weathers in the future. So when we talk about climate change and greenhouse gas emissions, a lot of us would link directly to transportation exhaust. We will link to power plants, etc. But rarely people would link climate change to food production. Well, indeed, according to the United Nations IPCC, actually food accounts for almost 15% of the global greenhouse gas emissions. So to put it in a more simple way, how could we change our diet to tackle climate change? Well, according to the UN climate report, say every year we are producing roughly 51 gigatons of carbon dioxide equivalent gas. If the world, to use a very drastic and dramatic example, if the world turned vegan at once, we could immediately reduce 8 gigatons of carbon dioxide, which is 22% of the total. Well, of course, that would be very surreal, right? So how about if we just suggest people to shift their diet habit to a more plant-based one? So to turn people into flexitarian, that could also decrease the carbon emission by 5 gigatons. So that is roughly 14% of the total. So to put it very simple, that is a very practical and effective way to reduce carbon emission. If we recall 2 to 3 years ago, there was a big fire that happened in Amazon forest. As well, if you could remember, there was also a very bad bushfire in Australia as well. So the cause of the fire in Amazon forest is actually linked to farmland clearance for more cattle farming. So since the Amazon fire broke out, a lot of the media report disclosed the story behind, the reason behind, and then people realized actually Hong Kong is the biggest hub in the world to have import Brazilian beef. Well, I don't mean all the beef are consumed by Hong Kong people, but actually Hong Kong is the biggest hub to have import the Brazilian beef, and that means meat consumption is directly linked to forest degradation, deforestation. So when the global population is actually approaching to 8.5 billion in 2030, estimated, and keep increasing, that means our planet simply won't have enough resources to support us to eat in a way that we are today. There's a documentary called Eating Our Way to Extinction. And I think that name pretty much picturizes how we are eating today. So that's why we need innovations, we need solutions, we need alternatives, and we need actions.
Yes, that's true. I agree we should have a sustainable development plan for our planet. And I know that your company aims for it as well. Would you give a background information of your company?
Yeah, sure. Green Monday Group was founded in 2012 by Mr. David Young, who is an impact entrepreneur. He is an innovationist and an environmental advocate. So when Green Monday Group was founded, we have the non-profit arm called the Green Monday Foundation, which is a registered non-profit that creates the movement and also spread out the message and also create the demand as well. The team received so many voices and support, and as well as the demand. So in 2015, we opened the first Green Common, which is the business arm of the group. And Green Common is actually a one-stop solution of plant-based lifestyle. So we now have 11 brick-and-mortar Green Common worldwide, 9 in Hong Kong, 1 recently opened in Shanghai, and 1 opened recently in Singapore as well. So all the stores are running in a very special model. So it's a hybrid model. So every Green Common comes with a restaurant and a retail grocery store. So so that when you go to Green Common, you can dine in, but you can also buy at home that's any products that you like. We have an online e-shop as well as on Alibaba Tmall store. It is a platform that could unlock the potential of all plant-based brands. Say globally, we carry brands like Beyond Meat, Calivia Farms, Alvin Foods from the US. We carry Animeat from Korea, Moving Mountains from UK, and Hura from Spain. So we sell and distribute all these amazing plant-based products, and we actually welcome more plant-based brands to join so that we can enhance our options to customers. In 2018, we also announced our own food tech company called Omi Foods. And subsequently, we launched alternative products known to the public as Omi Pork, Omi Luncheon, Omi Strips, and Omi Ready-to-Eat Meals, and just to name a few. So we have around 20 items and more in the pipeline under the Omi family. But you can easily see them in other QSR and F&B partners as well, because we do a lot of collaboration with other F&B partners. So you can find our Omi Luncheon in McDonald's. You can find our plant-based product being used by big chains like Crystal J, even in 7-Eleven, etc. So together, Green Common and Omi are the business arm of the Green Monday Group.
Yeah, it sounds great, and I would love to try some of your food, your company.
Yes, please recommend your friends and invite your friends to try.
Yes, thank you. Any top recommendation of your company food you can share?
Wow, okay. So this is actually a tough one because obviously the list would be very long, and to me all the products are great. I would say that first of all, the special thing is in Green Common we are trying to move the majority. And so we know I would say that most of the people in the world, they have the awareness, but still a lot of them are meat lovers. We know that, we honestly know that. So again, eating is cultural and personal. And simply asking people to give up what they love to eat, it's not realistic. So we innovate all the kind and evil versions of the food that people used to enjoy. Say pork is the most consumed meat in the world, and particularly in Asia, we make a lot of food out of pork. So we in 2018 launched Omi Pork, which is made from pea, non-GMO soy, shiitake mushroom, and rice. It has zero cholesterol. It has much lower unsaturated fat and calories comparing to real pork. It is of course hormone-free and antibiotics-free as well. So it appears in the form of pork mince, so you can easily season it. It's so easy to be used by both home chef and professional chef as well, so that everyone could actually cast their magical hands to create some amazing and authentic dishes. And then in 2020, we launched other new products, including Omi Luncheon, which is a perfect replacement of Spam. Actually, Spam is like a staple in a lot of countries, say Korea and even China. And then we also launch other products, say Omi Strips, which you can use along with Omi Luncheon to make a lot of cha chan tang dishes, that say luncheon and egg toast and meat strip fried noodles, just to name a few. So needless to say, they are all made from plants, so they are all cholesterol free, and they have a much superior and healthier nutritional value comparing to the real pork. If you're busy and if you don't have time to cook, we also launch ready-to-eat meals that come with selections like siu mai, steamed buns, and rice and noodles that you could prepare in just a few minutes. We also have ice cream, and people find ice cream irresistible. So we just recently, actually in mid-March, we launched our own non-dairy ice cream, which is now available in all 7-Eleven and Green Common. If you're a beef lover, so I would say that Beyond Burger is on top of your wish list. So it's made from pea and beetroot, and it cooks and sets out just like real beef. So Beyond Meat also offer other products, say Beyond Sausage and Beyond Sausage Patty. If you're a nugget lover, I would recommend Alvin nuggets. So the list is simply too long. So I would say that checking out our e-shop is a great way to navigate yourself in a plant-based world.
I will browse your company website afterward. By the way, do you explain or do you think about more youngsters in Hong Kong are getting more known about the vegetarian lifestyle?
Sure, definitely. I think the momentum is here and it's up running. Actually, we have been conducting a survey about people's eating habit every 2 years, and we just completed the recent one in December 2020, which is not long ago. So we are extremely excited to realize that in Hong Kong, around 40% of people are actually practicing flexitarianism. and some of them are actually full-time vegetarian or even vegan. So this is super encouraging, and it is a big growth comparing to just 24% in 2018. So I would say that this observation is actually in line with other countries, say Singapore, US, and Europe, particularly UK. If you are tapping into the news about plant-based movement, in UK every January they have a special event called Veganuary, which asks a lot of people to sign up to turn plant-based for 1 month. January stands for like a beginning of the year. It's same as Green Monday, that symbolic start of the week. So actually in the UK and in worldwide, we see a lot of the growth in plant-based awareness. So young generations like Gen Z and millennials, I would say that most of them are environmental and health conscious. So what we need to do is actually to innovate more good products to fulfill the demand and to capture this market. And to me, I would say that with good products, the consumer behavior would actually speaks for itself in terms of the supply and demand. So it's naturally growing. So this is the overall global observation that we see.
Yes, I see. As mentioned, your company vision is to be a global change maker or for sustainable future. Any action plans are you working on it now?
Sure. I think since David founded Green Monday 9 years ago, the team has never been stopped, to address food as the key factor to tackle climate change. So what we have to admit is that eventually one organization it's never big enough to drive global changes. So that we have been actively looking for partners. We stay humble, and we would like to team up with every global leaders, no matter they are NGOs, corporates, or individuals, to accelerate the movement. So globally, we are seeing a very gigantic shift of mindset, that we need actions instead of empty words. So when a lot of governments and multinational corporates that are preaching a cleaner business and preaching a greener policy, we would really hope that they could, offer more practical solutions. We believe companies that offer plant-based solutions to their employees are also achieving a great ESG initiatives. So say companies that have cafeterias, they could increase their plant-based options in their menus, in their canteens. And those without cafeterias, but they do have coffee bars or snack corners, they could also offer more green options and non-dairy alternatives. We will be putting more focus on forming alliance with different corporates, NGOs, expert groups with different stakeholders to accelerate this green movement. So that ultimately company, employees, and the planet will be a win-win-win situation. Employees, of course, they will be benefit from a health and well-being perspective, and that means companies will have a much lower absentee rate, turnover rate, and not to mention the planet will of course benefit because we are consuming less resources in producing animal proteins. So it's really important for corporates, particularly those that are very influential one, to join hands and to accelerate the movement. So yeah, corporate engagement would be one of the key direction for us this year.
It sounds great, and I can feel your passion about building up a win-win-win situation.
Yep.
Apart from promoting the vegetarian lifestyle, what do you expect the youngster in Hong Kong to collaborate in order to achieve your company vision?
I think in general, all Hong Kong young people are very passionate. I think they all want to make this place and this planet a better one to live. So on one hand, the world seems to be more challenging, particularly because we are suffering from the COVID, and we are like dredged by the COVID turmoil that we are still struggling to pull through. But on the other hand, we are actually seeing more opportunities in other sectors and from other perspectives as well. So we see more emerging business and more demand in the sustainable development area. Say we need more sustainable products, we need more green packaging solutions. We see a lot of people talk about, and indeed the trend is growing to the green energy, green finance, etc. So sustainability actually covers a very wide spectrum of things. So a lot of areas are still need to be done and remains undone. So we hope that young people could remain innovative, dare to dream, and remember the world is big, and particularly in Hong Kong as an international city, young folks in Hong Kong has to keep their eyesight international. And I would say that it's for all the young people in Hong Kong, we have a lot of room to shine. And I'm really Green Monday Group is supportive to every individuals who want to create an positive impact to the world.
Yes, I agree, and I do believe in it as well. And I am one of the young people who are chasing the dream.
I think all of us are young people to create a positive impact.
Yeah. So very much appreciate Alvin for your great sharing today.
Thank you so much, Paul. With pleasure.
Yeah, and thanks for watching this video. And this is Paul from JCI Kowloon. Goodbye and see you next time.